For 16 years, one man stood alone at the top of football's most exclusive record book. On Monday night in Dallas, that record finally fell, and the man who broke it has been doing this for 2 decades. Lionel Messi is now the all-time leading goal scorer in the history of the Men's World Cup. With 2 goals against Austria, he passed Germany legend Miroslav Klose's mark of 16 goals, a record that had stood since 2014. Messi now sits alone at 18, and at 38 years old, just 2 days before his 39th birthday, he is still adding to it. Let us walk through exactly how this record-breaking night unfolded, why it almost did not happen in the way everyone expected, and what this moment means for a player who has already won everything there is to win in this sport. Argentina entered this match against Austria in Dallas, already sitting on 6 World Cup goals for the tournament, with Messi himself having scored a hat-trick in the opening match against Algeria, a performance that had already pulled him level with Klose's long-standing record of 16. The entire football world knew exactly what was coming. The only question was when. The answer in the end was not as simple as everyone expected. Messi actually had his first real chance to break the record in just the 9th minute of this match, stepping up to take a penalty kick that could have given Argentina an early lead and handed him the outright record almost immediately. He missed it, the ball going wide right of the goal. For a moment, it looked like the wait might continue a little longer. It did not take much longer at all. In the 38th minute, Messi found himself on the end of a pass from teammate Facundo Medina, and with a single left-footed touch, he buried the ball into the net. Goal number 17. The record was his outright, alone at the top of a list that includes some of the greatest strikers the sport has ever produced. Deafening roars erupted inside Dallas Stadium in Arlington, Texas. This was not simply a goal in a group stage match. This was history happening in real time, in front of tens of thousands of fans who understood exactly what they were witnessing. Messi was not finished. Deep into stoppage time, with the match already well in hand, he added a second goal, his 5th of this tournament alone, taking his career World Cup tally to 18. Argentina won the match 2-0, a result that secured their place in the knockout rounds and guaranteed them top spot in Group J. To put this achievement into proper context, we need to understand exactly who Miroslav Klose was and what his record represented. Klose remains Germany's all-time leading scorer with 71 goals in 137 appearances for his national team. He played across 4 consecutive World Cup tournaments, 2002, 2006, 2010, and 2014, scoring in every single one of them. His World Cup debut came with a hat-trick against Saudi Arabia in 2002, and he built his legendary scoring record from there, eventually reaching the mark of 16 goals during Germany's stunning 7-1 demolition of Brazil in the 2014 semi-final, a match that remains etched in the memory of football fans around the world. At that exact moment in 2014, when Klose set his record, Messi had scored only 5 World Cup goals in his own career, 4 of them coming during that very same 2014 tournament where Argentina would go on to lose the final to Klose's Germany. Messi was on the losing side of history that summer. 12 years later, he has rewritten it entirely. What makes Messi's achievement particularly remarkable is the timeline involved. His World Cup story began in 2006, when he scored his first goal at just 18 years old against Serbia and Montenegro. He then went through a difficult stretch, failing to score at all during the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. He scored 4 times in 2014, the tournament where Argentina reached the final but ultimately lost. He added just 1 more goal in 2018, and then came 2022 in Qatar, the tournament that finally delivered the trophy that had eluded him for his entire career, where he scored 7 times, including twice in the final itself, in arguably the greatest World Cup final ever played. Now, at an age when most professional footballers have long since retired, Messi has added 5 more goals in this 2026 tournament, pushing his career total to 18 and securing a record that experts believed might never actually be broken, given how rare it is for any player to even compete at 4 separate World Cups, let alone 6. Because that is the other historical milestone wrapped up in this same achievement. With his appearance against Algeria earlier in this tournament, Messi became the first player in history to feature in 6 different editions of a Men's World Cup. His career at this tournament now spans an extraordinary 28 matches across 2 full decades, from 2006 all the way to 2026. There is a deeply human element to this record-breaking moment that goes beyond statistics. Messi was visibly emotional after his hat-trick goal against Algeria just days before this match. and it later emerged that his father back home in Argentina has been dealing with an unspecified health issue. Messi had not even fully committed to playing in this tournament until the very last possible moment, with concerns swirling around a hamstring injury sustained during his final Major League Soccer match for Inter Miami before the World Cup began. Despite all of that uncertainty, despite his personal struggles away from the pitch, despite questions about whether a 38-year-old body could hold up across an entire World Cup campaign, Messi has answered every single doubt in the most emphatic way possible. He has now scored all 5 of Argentina's goals in this tournament so far. Every single one. His teammates have created the chances, but it has been Messi alone finishing them. The reaction from Klose himself, the man whose record had just been broken, captured something important about how this moment is being received across the football world. Speaking to German newspaper Süddeutsche Zeitung, now in his role as Nuremberg's head coach, Klose did not hesitate for a single moment in his response. "For me, Lionel Messi is the best of all time," he said. "Congratulations, champ." There was no bitterness in those words, no defensive tone from a man who had just watched his own piece of history disappear. Just genuine, immediate respect from one legend to another. Klose went further still, noting that Messi achieving 4 or more goals across 3 separate World Cup tournaments, in 2014, 2022, and now 2026, places him in a category of statistical excellence that only Klose himself had previously achieved. The two men, separated by 12 years and 1 record, now share something that no other player in the history of the sport can claim. Let us talk about what this means within the broader context of football's eternal debate about greatness. Messi's 18 World Cup goals now place him clearly ahead of an extraordinary list of names. Brazilian legend Ronaldo sits at 15. Germany's Gerd Müller, one of the most prolific goal scorers in football history, recorded 14. France's Just Fontaine famously scored 13 goals in a single tournament back in 1958, a separate record that remains unbroken to this day, but his career total still trails Messi's accumulated mark across 6 tournaments. And then there is Kylian Mbappe, the player most observers consider Messi's closest active rival for this exact record. On the very same day, Messi reached 18 goals. Mbappe scored twice himself in France's 3-0 victory over Iraq, moving his own career total to 16, tying him with Klose's old mark and positioning him just 2 goals behind the new leader. The two players, former teammates at Paris Saint-Germain, are now locked in what could become one of the most compelling individual storylines remaining in this entire tournament. A genuine race for World Cup scoring immortality, playing out in real time across these final weeks. The numbers paint a fascinating picture of just how differently these two players have accumulated their respective totals. Mbappe has scored his 16 goals across just 15 career World Cup matches, an extraordinarily efficient rate of production. Messi has needed 28 matches to reach his 18, a reflection of both his remarkable longevity and the different stages of his career. From a teenager finding his footing in 2006 to the wizened veteran captain leading Argentina's title defense today. Even England's Harry Kane, with 10 goals in just 12 matches, has technically scored at a faster per-match rate than Messi across his career. But raw efficiency rates miss something essential about what Messi has actually accomplished. This is not simply about scoring goals efficiently in a handful of matches. This is about sustained excellence across 2 full decades of football. Surviving the disappointment of 2010, the heartbreak of the 2014 final defeat, the relative quiet of 2018, the triumphant redemption of 2022, and now, somehow, still producing record-breaking moments in 2026, at an age when conventional football wisdom suggests players should be watching tournaments from their couches, not winning them on the pitch. There is also a broader significance to this achievement that extends beyond the men's game entirely. With his 18th goal, Messi did not just surpass Klose, he also moved ahead of Brazilian legend Marta, the all-time leading scorer in FIFA Women's World Cup history with 17 goals, making Messi now the outright leading goal scorer across both the men's and women's editions of football's greatest tournament. Combined, Argentina's victory over Austria carried significant tournament implications beyond Messi's individual milestone as well. The win secured the defending champions' place in the World Cup's round of 32, while also guaranteeing Argentina top spot in Group J, provided Jordan failed to beat Algeria in the tournament's later match that same day.